What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about my 280Z build and the progress that I've done to it. I wish I would have started this video process sooner, but now it's better than ever. So as you can see, here's the Z as it sits. A lot of work has been done to it, and it needs a lot more work. So here we can go ahead and walk around the car. Well, here's the engine bay. Pretty ugly at the moment. Needs a lot of work. I've got all of that factory brackets and stuff shaved off of there, and all the tabs that hold the wires. That's why all this is pretty messy. Previous owner painted the engine bay blue. I don't know why. Nothing else on the car was blue. It was all primer. But oh well. As you can see, there's a big hole in the firewall, and that was just recently done by me. We're working on the passenger side floor pan and frame rail, because here we'll kind of go one step at a time. There's inner fender. I've already patched rust hole there and a big rust hole here. That's all new metal. And here is what I recently finished. That is a new floor pan. And frame rail below it. We'll go under the car in a second. That took quite a while. Sorry if the wind from the fan's going in the camera. But here, we'll get under it. There is the frame rail. There's a little gap right there that I'm going to fill, but I'll leave the gap there for the moment because I am going to fill the frame rail with internal frame rail coating. So hopefully I can get the nozzle through there and I won't have to cut a hole in it. Yeah, pretty smooth all the way back. Here, we'll scoot under here a little bit more. Look, I'm no professional welder, but it's gonna hold. Here's the bottom part weld. We'll take a look on the inside weld. But yeah, it should hold. I'll take a look at the back because I did something at the back of it. I tied the frame rail into the rear subframe of the car, so it's sturdy. But this side's pretty well done. I'm gonna weld these holes shut. There's no reason for them. And there's actually some holes here, which I don't have any idea why they would put holes there. The floor pan, I can't really remember, like Current Fabrication or some website I bought them from. Gotta weld that hole shut. So yeah, there's that side. We'll walk around to the back. Here's a side picture of the car. Yeah, I got bored one day and I saw that the primer was cracking, so I was like, let's just see what's under here, and it's pretty rusted. I put tape over it so I don't keep snagging my pants when I walk by it. But we're going to be getting fender flares, so hopefully that'll just be cut out anyway, fit the flares. And I didn't know this, but when I bought the car, well, I didn't know it when I bought the car, but I found out now, A new roof has been put on because there was a crack here when I bought it, and I was like, that's weird. But when I got home, I just started playing with the crack, and I ended up just peeling it off, and a new roof has been put on. Because if you look up here at the pillar, I actually did a pretty good job. You can't even tell until you go to the inside. Right there. I should be able to clean that up a little bit, but it's not going to matter too much. There's a new roof put on because I'm going to have a roll cage in it, so not a big deal. Here's the trunk. Obviously the spare tire well had a big hole in it. Just cut it out.
That bitch is hot.
Throw it. I'm going to be putting a fuel cell back here.
I'm gonna give you a fuel line that will hold an extra gallon of gas. I'm gonna shave half an inch off you and shape you like a bullet.
Welding the cage in for the fuel cell. My intentions of this car are going to be kind of race car, drift car. Don't really plan on racing it, drifting it, but I just like the look of roll cage and awesome motor and racing seats and all that stuff. I live in Illinois next to St. Louis, and there's not really any racing tracks around here. There's one drag strip close, but I don't really care for going in a straight line. I'd rather be drifting or doing a course. I bought this car in Iowa just from Craigslist. Paid $2,200 for the car. And before you guys freak out, oh my god, he paid so much for this rust. Well, the car had an RB20 in it, which if you don't know what RB20 is, it's a pretty good motor. Gets some horsepower. So I brought it home, and I'll insert a picture of the motor in the car. And I tried getting it running. I spent weeks trying to get it running, and it just would not start. The ECU was so old. It was like from 97 or 96. Who knows? But I had to use a serial port to even get it to hook up to a laptop. So I had to buy an old laptop that was running like Windows XP just to get it to talk to the ECU, and I couldn't get it to work with the injectors, couldn't get it to run, didn't have the right sensors. So I just sold the motor. I sold the motor for $1,600. So if you do the math, I spent $600 on the car, which is pretty good. I mean, $600 for this. I mean, all you see is the shell right now, but all the interior pieces were pretty much there. Didn't have carpet and didn't have the gauges, but the dash was there and everything. So I mean, $600 for this, it's pretty good. And guess what's going in it? A 1J.
I'm gonna give you an engine low to the ground, extra big oil pans will cut the wind from underneath you.
And I'll insert a picture here. And I've already got that bought, so it's just sitting. It's winter time right now, so I'm trying to get this body done. Then I'll be able to mess with the motor. So you're looking at the passenger side, and there's a hole there. Yeah, I just did that about a week ago. Plasma cut it just right out. It was all rusty. I'll insert some pictures. But yeah, this part was pretty tough. This is the first car that I've ever built. I'm 22 years old and I'm going to school for computer management. So this, I've never done this stuff before. So this floor pan over here, it's the first time I've ever done this. First time I've ever welded, and I think it came out pretty good. It's definitely structurally sound. It's not going anywhere. And when I put seam sealer and the coating over it, I mean, you're not going to see any of that. So when I came over here, so if you look over here, I came up pretty high on the trans tunnel to fit the floor pan in there. But over here, I learned that if I just not cut out so much, I can just lay the floor pan down on top of the old metal, and it won't be so hard to try and fit it up on these curves and everything up here. But this metal here is just so flimsy. I cut this out because there was like a hump here, so I cut it out to flatten it. But this metal here is just so flimsy, I'm probably gonna have to come up here, which is not gonna be fun, but gotta do what you gotta do. So this is gonna have a square, like a base plate put over it, because that's where the roll cage is gonna go, and I'll show you the roll cage in a minute. So you're not really gonna see this because there's gonna be a box here, but I'm gonna have to cut all this out, and because there's a hole there, and just put all new metal in it and make it structured again. Over here is pretty good. Not gonna have to do much over there. It's just just clean it up. Here you can kind of see back here where they put the roof on. It's pretty ugly over there. It's pretty ugly over there too, but hopefully I can clean that up. And there's the hole in the firewall. That was all rusted, and there were some designs, like indentions in the firewall, and I didn't want to cut a hole or a line through one of those indentions, because you'd be able to just see that, hey, that's new metal in there. That doesn't look right. So I just cut it all out, and I kind of screwed myself. I cut too high, and this is like an angled piece that is up in here, but you can't really see it. So if I would have cut up a little bit higher, that would have been bad, but now it's kind of got something to lay against, and I can kind of plug weld it maybe. I should have cut down a little lower, but how was I supposed to know? I just looked from the inside of the car. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I looked from the outside of the car, and I just taped it up, and then I just cut it, and I had no idea that this cowl came all the way down here, but live and learn. So this is gonna have to probably be cut out. Here, I'll show you the roll cage. There's a toolbox. It's pretty nice. I just recently cleaned all this up, all the tools. Don't really get to use them much now because I'm just dealing with rust and power tools, but there's another toolbox. TV, don't have cable to it yet. Datsun flag. Well, let's take a look at the roll cage. This is like SCCA approved roads, race cars, roll cage. Here, I'll move all these plates over. The plates are heavy. That's what you build the mounts for. This kit is for the 240, 280Z. I bought it from a guy off of the Datsun forum. he wasn't using it. He wasn't going to use it, so I bought it from him. I was hoping for a picture of it in here. That's kind of what it's going to look like. Not really, because it's going to have that one bar that goes from the driver's side to the passenger side, but this stuff is all pretty big and solid. I'll stay up there. And all these poles here gonna be going in there, so that'll be fun. The hardest part's gonna be building these blocks for it, but we'll get there. And I'll probably have somebody else weld that, because I'm no professional welder. In a roll cage, you want it to be the best. Yeah, so hopefully a 1J will be going in here. Well, hopefully it will be going. Trying to think if I missed anything. Kind of step back a little bit. You can see how bad this frame rail is in here. Hopefully there's enough light. Don't have flashlight shine on it at the moment. But there's the project. I wish I would have started this sooner when I had the car and it was all put together. But I'll add some pictures in this video of what it was like before to now, and show you kind of the progress. I have a video of us cutting out the floor plan with the plasma cutter, so I can put that in there. So yeah, that's pretty much the car. This is the first video. I'm just wanted to give you an update on the car, where it's at, what I plan to do. I've got a lot of stuff bought, and Christmas is coming up, so car parts, hopefully, and I'll show you that. And yeah, I just want to make this video to show you the progress I had on the car and what I plan to do. And there'll be definitely more videos coming out, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll be doing like a how-to guides on things and do's and don'ts, what I've learned. If you're building a Z car, you can kind of see what I've done, because I mean, I couldn't find too much out there about rebuilding them. You see a lot of them that are already done, but not too many being rebuilt videos, YouTube channels at least. So I'll be doing that. Otherwise, I bought the 240Z taillights to fit in here, because this had the 280Z with like the secondary backup light, like it was detached from the tail light. So I bought the 240Z where it's like all one piece. So I'll be cutting this and then putting those taillights in, because I like those better. I also bought I guess the 280ZX hood. I don't think the 240Zs came with it, and mine didn't. The hood that's got the louvers or the air vents in it, I bought that from somebody for like $100 or something. It's at home. My plan down here is, because I mean they all come with these holes in there. That's like where the bumper came from. My plan is to cut that out, cut all this out, at least to here, put a new piece of metal down, and then have my exhaust come out right here in the middle of the bumper. So that would be cool, but that's a long way away. But that's my plan for that. But yeah, I think I've pretty much touched on everything. I'm still deciding whether I should cut and just weld that shut, so like the gas cap, like it wouldn't be there no more, or put it back on and just leave it, even though it's not going to be used because there'll be a fuel cell in the middle. But I don't know if I want to cut it. And I noticed that there's some rust where the gas cap like sealer was there, so like some gas would seep down here and just sit. So there's some rust in there. I mean, it looks pretty bad on the camera, but really, I mean, it's solid except for just 2 little pinholes there. So I mean, I don't really know what to do. Do I spend all the time and cut it out and put new metal in there, or just leave it and clean it up and prime it and make sure it doesn't rust anymore? I mean, it's solid, but don't know. Figure it out when we get there. I got plans for BC Racing coilovers. That's going to be a pretty penny, but I'll have a video of me installing those, so you guys can stay tuned for that and probably do a review, because I mean, I have not seen any other people except for one person I talked to with BC Racing coilovers on their Z car. So maybe I'll be the second. I don't know. Yeah. Stay tuned for more videos of the Datsun and everything else I'm going to do to it. I should be uploading them quite a bit, quite frequently, because I do come out here and work a lot. I work and I go to school, so I work on this every chance I get. So yeah, I hope you subscribe, like, and stay tuned for the future videos. Peace.